What is the critical data for your organization? I know this might sound like a simple question, but many organizations struggle with not only identifying what their critical information is, but where is it located? When I was growing up in the 70s and the 80s, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have pagers, we didn't have any of those things. So when I went out for the evening, my parents had no idea where I was, what I was doing, or what I was up to. Completely different time and place than we live today. And if I was going to be late, or I got caught up and wasn't going to make it home when I told them, I had to find a payphone, and now I'm really going to be dating myself, and I had to put a dime, right? I know it raised to a quarter, but I used to put a dime in there, and I used to have to call my parents from a payphone to tell them where I was. So this was a problem. So they used to have these commercials. They would usually be on the weekends. So Saturday night at 9 p.m. on TV, all of a sudden the screen would go blank and it would go, dun, 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 dun. We have a special announcement. It is 9 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Dun, 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 dun. And it was meant to raise awareness of tracking and understanding where your kids were. Today, we don't need that because we can just look on our cell phone and track our children. However, I still think they should have those commercials, but they should be a little different. Dun, 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 dun. It's 9 p.m. Do you know where your critical data is? Dun, 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 dun. Because most executives don't know where their critical data is located. If you want to win when it comes to cybersecurity, it comes down to some simple questions. What is your critical data? Where is it located? Who has access to it? And who should be accessing your critical data? If you focus in on those core questions of tracking, controlling, and monitoring your critical data, you win. Think about it. A company that had 500 million records stolen because they had sensitive data on a public internet-facing server that wasn't patched, they clearly didn't know where their critical data was. Because I'll tell you right now, no business leader, no executive, no security engineer would sit there and say, I know my critical data is directly accessible from the internet on an unpatched system that's not encrypted. That's a good idea, right? Nobody would ever say that. The reason why it was done is because nobody knew. People were not aware of what their critical data was, and they didn't know to ask the right questions. So if you want to win at this game called cybersecurity, it's simple. Every single week, ask, what is our critical data? Where is it located? Who has access? And who should have access?